BEASTDOME Nation, week 2 of the fantasy football season is here. Thank you for joining me tonight on Beast the Odds. I am Muncherdamus, and tonight, first, we're gonna go over the must-sell, trade them now players that you need to get rid of. You can find the full list below at BEASTDOME.com. After that, I'm gonna give you the Beast of the Week, alright? This is the Beast of the Week. Haven't done this in a while, but I'm giving you a boy that's gonna dominate for your daily fantasy football leagues. And I also have an interview. I shouldn't even use the word interview. Welcoming a new member of the BEASTDOME family. We're lucky to have him. Dr. Jesse Morse. All that coming up here on Beast the Odds.
Are you ready, BEASTDOME Nation? Muncherdamus.
If you made the mistake of drafting a David Montgomery in the second, third, fourth round, like so many experts were touting, or going after Darrell Henderson, Mr. 6th round gonna win your season.
So I got called out on Instagram by BEASTDOME, and he had a problem with my Darrell Henderson predictions.
Bottom line, even if Todd Gurley misses a game, it's going to be a running back by committee. Malcolm Brown is a veteran. He can pass block. He's reliable. He's dependable. He's not going to put the ball on the ground. The Rams trust him, and if something happens, they're going to sign someone else.
If you draft Darrell Henderson in the 6 to 7 round range, you can win your league with that one move, and it's not going to cost you your league if I'm wrong.
That 6th, 7th round pick with the BEASTDOME draft strategy that I have, it is a game changer with that selection.
Who do you like over Darrell Henderson then?
Oh, man, I really don't want to give the name, but I'll give you one running back. I'll give you one running back that I like that I would take ahead of him.
Okay.
Latavius Murray. This year with the Saints, he's going to get all the work that Mark Ingram was getting. He could even get more. I don't want to touch too much into this. Let's just move on.
Hold on. Let's do one thing. What bet can we make that Darrell Henderson will outscore Latavius Murray, and then the loser has to do it?
You name it.
Do a live YouTube, or go live on Instagram, and just say that I was wrong, Smitty was right from the Fantasy Football Show, and if I'm wrong, I'll go BEASTDOME was right, and just do like an apology tour on a live for 5 to 10 minutes.
We can do it like every 4 weeks, a little, quarter waypoint.
I have news for you. You better sell those players now while they still have some street value. If you think David Montgomery is going to be a reliable running back 2 in a crowded Bears backfield on an offense that has a quarterback that is lucky to throw the ball 15 yards without it being a horrible throw, well, then you're in for a very long season, because the Bears offense is doing nothing. It's a running back by committee. They're going to be moving the ball 30 yards and punting it at best, a few times every single quarter at best. And for the most part, this is a team that is very well versed. They have a lot of different weapons. David Montgomery, you need to sell him now for a BEASTDOME legend, Latavius on your squad. Next, sell Darrell Henderson. There is no reason to have Darrell Henderson on your fantasy football team. Malcolm Brown is a clear-cut backup to Todd Gurley. And if you try to make any other point saying that Malcolm Brown deserves to be behind Darrell Henderson, then I don't know what football you're watching. Todd Gurley, Malcolm Brown, that is the 1-2 punch. Darrell Henderson is on the sidelines. He might have some trade value now. Many people took him ahead of Latavius Murray. For the most part, if you hold on to Darrell Henderson, you have yourself a player that will end up on the waiver wire before week 4. Stay tuned for an interview with our newest team member, Dr. Jesse Morse.
Sure, you can duel with kings, but are you ready to be the GOAT? Fantasy sports just went crypto. Welcome to GOAT, the global fantasy sports platform powered by Digital Fantasy Sports. DFS Token. GOAT allows users to connect and compete globally with their DFS while playing fantasy sports. From thrilling pick'em games to the classic salary cap style gameplay to season-long fantasy and even live drafts, Digital Fantasy Sports GOAT has you covered. Visit GOATFantasy.com.
Welcome back to Beast the Odds, and we are joined by a very special guest who's going to be part of our regular program, Dr. Jesse Morse. Doctor, tell us who you are.
Sure, I am a sports medicine doctor. I practice in Florida. I am one of the co-owners of the Fantasy Doctors, which is a orthopedic or sports medicine, all trained physicians that analyze player injuries daily. We do all sports. Football is our bread and butter. So this is our crazy time of the year. Anytime an injury comes out, ideally within a half hour, we will have analysis and likely a video discussing it from a orthopedic perspective about what it means, when they'll be back, and how the implications for fantasy-wise kind of play on. And then as we learn more, we continue to elaborate that on every day and every week.
Well, I'm definitely glad to have you part of the BEASTDOME team for this season to help the BEASTDOME Nation. And let's just actually start right away with one of the cover guys. He was my number 2 fantasy running back this year, so everyone drafted him if they missed Kamara. Le'Veon Bell, he somehow ended up on the injury report. Tell us more about what Le'Veon's dealing with.
So Le'Veon actually got a lot more workload than I thought he was going to get in week 1. I mean, they really didn't, hold back. They just threw him to the wolves, and he looked pretty good. He managed to suffer somehow a shoulder injury that we really didn't find out until maybe Tuesday, I think it was. Good news is that MRI was negative, so it sounds like he's dealing with predominantly soreness. That's going to be a relative negative MRI because everybody's going to have a little bit something going on in their shoulder. Whether they were concerned about a labral tear or a rotator cuff tear, whatever it was, he was having some discomfort and some soreness, and they wanted to make sure everything was okay with their big money star running back. I expect him to get a little bit of a reduction in workload, but I don't expect this to be overly concerning. He might even have got a cortisone shot and then just tell him, continue to ramp up and rock and roll.
For those that watch him on Monday night, what type of hit do we not want to see him take?
The thing that would bother him the most, that should bother him the most, based on what we know, which is not very much, is having his shoulder kind of driven into the ground, almost like a Tyreek Hill, like where his shoulder just kind of like pile drive. That is a lot of force, especially if it's a big dude on top of him, bringing him down. That would be probably concerning. I mean, Bell is not exactly a little guy, so it's going to take a lot of force to injure him, but that would be the most concerning in my opinion.
Let's round it up with a couple quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, he's banged up. Anything to be concerned about there?
He got really lucky. They stepped on his ankle and his knee buckled a little bit, but they haven't said anything about the knee, which means he got lucky and it didn't have any significant ligamentous injury. Just a mild ankle sprain. My suspicion is that he'll rock and roll, and this kid's a beast. So I expect them to drop 30 to 40 points on the Raiders, regardless. So I'm not worried about him at all.
Yeah, guy's got a cannon for an arm. And then last but not least, everyone in Cleveland was hoping that this would be their year, and then they get blown out at home against the Titans. Baker Mayfield's on the injury report. Do you think it's a real injury, or is it just an excuse?
Probably more of an excuse than an injury. I mean, he did take a lot of beatings. I mean, their line didn't look ideal. I think they have a better chance to show up against a Sam Darnold's team on Monday, but not overly concerned about the hand. Initially, they said it was shoulder, and then we find out it's the hand. He sounds like he played with a wrap for a day or two, and then he's been good since. So I hope they get their act together this week, because this offense could be fireworks if everybody's healthy and firing on all cylinders.
My BEASTDOME Beast of the Week Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? LaShawn McCoy is looking like the slimmest Slim McCoy we have seen in some time. The guy is shaking, he is baking, he is motivated, he is amped up, he is on a beast offense, and he is going to be heavily involved in the Chiefs game plan this week. Yes, Damian Williams is still part of the picture, but there's enough to go around for both of them, and it's only a matter of time before LaShawn McCoy is the lead back. For all those that drafted Damian Williams in the second round, go ahead and trade him after this week. He should get some fantasy production, but moving forward, LaShawn McCoy is going to show why LaShawn McCoy is the lead dog and the Chiefs running back system. That is all for tonight on BC Odds. If you want my weekly rankings, my Monkey Night Fight picks, and my draft strategy, sign up for the promos below in the description. Send me a DM with your username or an email at beast@beastdome.com. Thank you to Dr. Jesse Morris. Play GOATFantasy.com. I'll see you soon. Beast!